Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. So, 4.1 is live. I've already covered the essentials about this release, so in this video I'm going to list 4 fun things to do in this patch. But first, what did we learn new today about this patch in the release announcement? First, the Drake Golem Small Mining Ship's introductory offer is $55 US War Bond with lifetime insurance, $60 US with store credit, and 6 months insurance. There is also a War Bond starter package of the ship plus game package at $67, again with lifetime insurance. So even if your goal for a starter ship is something else, if it is more than $60 of ship value, like a Nomad or Intrepid or Cutlass, you can upgrade from the Golem starter pack and save $5 and get LTI. As for the ship itself, it isn't the Prospector, but it is well less than half the price of one, so I have to call this a bargain, not to mention being able to be carried in a wide variety of ships that a Prospector would never fit in. CIG is calling this a starter mining ship, and whether it would be called that depends on what you mean by a starter ship. If it is a ship that can be bought bundled with a game package, then sure. If it is a ship that, with the game package, roughly fits into the price range of what people might expect to pay for a game, then $67 US is yes, if barely. If it is a ship that you would recommend to a new player begin their game with, then unless that person is so singularly focused on mining that the game might as well be called Star Miner, then no, it's not their starter ship. There is just too much gameplay that this ship is not suited for. And for someone who just wants to include discovering mining among their early game activities, it is undermined by the other new release for 4.1. The ATLS GEO is available at launch for $40 US new money with LTI and $45 US store credit for 6 months. This puts it $10 less than the Rock mining buggy, with no jump capability on the Rock and no ability to do hand minables on the Rock. I suspect that a lot of these will be bought specifically to do a line and mine event, and just as many as LTI tokens. In my prior starter ship roundup, I gave a ship points for mining if it could hold a Rock. Now I'd give it the check mark if it could hold a Geo, and almost anything with a reasonable cargo hold can. In addition, the Inside Star Citizen had an important new piece of information, and that is that the new event regarding regeneration failing does not apply to us players. At least, not yet. Jared's oblique reference to playing a long game on Death of a Spaceman hinted, though, that this might be the first domino in the sequence that brings Death of a Spaceman to the verse. And now for the main topic of this video, new ways to enjoy the game in Star Citizen 4.1. Number 1. Dress up. Dig out that subscriber gear or the referral program armor that you earned or the armor that you earned in Supply or Die. Wear it. We've been keeping that stuff in inventory except at things like the IAE for years now out of fear of losing it. I know that a great many people think that item recovery tier 0 is a bad idea, including me, but hey, it's here, so let's have fun with it before it gets replaced. This also goes for weapons and anything else. 4.1 is time to show off. Number 2, team up for a line and mine. This event reminds me a bit of the Xenothreat event in several respects. Not only is it way too big for an individual to do on their own, but it also needs several different skills to complete. So if mining is your thing, certainly there will be a role for you in the third phase. If ship combat is your thing, there's plenty need for clearing the ships around the platform and providing overwatch for the ground operations. If you're an FPS player, then certainly there is plenty for you to do. But one thing that might make this work a little less well than Xenothreat is that Xenothreat, the CDF regularly provided payment to everyone, but in a line and mine, all the value shows up at the end and comes to the people that are doing the mining, not everyone automatically. So you will need to have an understanding and trust about how everything will be compensated and split up at the end, or the ending might look like this. Number 3, visit Wikely. Even if you aren't going to get involved in the Wikely gameplay loop, the location is a trippy collection that honestly should be seen by everyone at least once. There are 3 locations where Wikely operates: Kinga near Microtech, Salo near Yala, and Dasi near Hurston. Now, some folks are thinking that some of the items shown in the Wikely Emporium are somehow previews of things to come. But CIG typically does a much more disciplined act when it comes to items that they are going to be launching for sale. More likely, what you are seeing are concepts that were taken to a certain point and then rejected. So yes, we will likely still see a combat mech in the game, but it won't be that one. Number 4, collection missions. These are kind of a weird view into the mind of Banu commerce, all focused on bits and favor, and for lack of a better term, are sort of scavenger hunts. But this opens up a whole bunch of opportunities for cooperation in gameplay, because just like real-life scavenger hunts, you do them with teams and are split up so when one guy takes one thing and another takes the other thing, and does so for everybody. And then there is the possibility of perhaps a secondary market for some of the items that Wikely wants. So, for example, Wikely seems to have a regular desire for cave Copion horns and Marok gems. How much more efficient is it to concentrate on just a few of the items and then sell or trade those with others in the same mission? It's even entirely possible, possibly even likely, that an entire secondary market will develop in the components for those hungering to earn their own Polaris through Wikely. Yes, directly doing the Wikely missions chain is interesting, but what is even more intriguing to see the ways that the player community creatively adapts to it. And then the +1. In this case is +1 because it is not part of the persistent universe, but Arena Commander, and that is the introduction of the Crossroads of Crime map. Now, to be clear, this is not the full scenario that was in Theaters of War playtest, but rather the entire map, which is to say, an entire planet, which gives us for the first time in Arena Commander a way to hone our skills in low flying without worrying about the consequences of crashing, respawning, death, etc., including the skill set of creating exciting user-skimming flight. This may in particular come in handy if, as it's anticipated in upcoming releases, control surfaces are added to the atmospheric flight model. Now for an update on our giveaways. First, we have concluded the giveaway for the captains, and Stormcap will be soon having the prize as soon as they can be shipped by VKB from China, presuming that's still possible. Also, we have the special skills contest for channel members to earn a chance at a Mirai Guardian or a Mist Fortune, for which we so far have just a couple of entries, so winning this is still wide open to the other members with just a little creativity and skill. Then we have the annual IAE Week giveaway coming up for the shiny stainless steel series shipping ship, the Starlancer Max, and then the Grow the Channel ship giveaway at 20,000 subscribers for the winner's choice of the marvelous multi-role multiplayer mining meta, the Arasta, or the Banu Big Box Bargain Bazaar, the Merchantman. 1 entry per video. Members, you're entered automatically. Everyone else, just subscribe and comment with the secret word. And the secret word for this video is the name of any of the 3 Wikely Emporiums. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Daniel Raymond for Ray's Guide.